We're continuing with Michael Tsarion and insights and perspectives into his work and findings and realizations and insights. The points that he discusses with regards to self being an example, a model, as he refers to it, is on the mark, where beings try and attempt to change others without first focusing on themselves. So, in essence, what is being done through wanting to first help, save, change others is attempting to change self through others, which is impossible, because where does self exist? Self exists here, not in a separate, projected, manifested design out there somewhere. Self is here, and as we've suggested as well, it is to first focus on self, first change self, because then you become a living example, and then you're actually able to assist another as yourself. From what perspective? From the perspective that, let's say you've walked through a particular experience, a particular situation. You've walked through that. You've seen, realized insights and perspectives. You've stood up from it, and you've actually changed. You'll be able to assist another through their experience, through their process, through their situation, in being a living example from the perspective of making suggestions. Saying, you know what, I've been in this situation, this is what I've walked, this is what I found, this is how I stood up, and this is how it changed me. That's all. That's actually to the only point that one can assist another, because why? The other has to change themselves. No one can change another for them. Each one has to take self-responsibility for self. And that comes through quite effectively in Michael's work, which is very cool. Because many suffer from what we refer to as the savior syndrome, where everyone is trying to save everyone else without first saving self, so to speak. And it's fascinating what we found with regards to the savior syndrome is that we always want to save others because we actually fear taking responsibility for ourselves. So trying to, or attempting to save another is actually a method of hiding and suppressing self-change within the fear of taking self-responsibility for self. So we fear actually facing ourselves. We fear facing the consequences within our reality and within ourselves that we have self-created. And to kind of try to run away from that, we focus all our attention on someone else and kind of blocking our world and ourselves within ourselves away. And it's fascinating because in that process of wanting to save another and attempting to suppress facing our own consequences that exist within ourselves and our world, we're actually destroying ourselves. Because we neglect ourselves, we neglect our reality that is ourselves in attempt to try and save another. And in that neglect, our reality, our world, ourselves literally go up in flames. And within that, we're actually not assisting the other. Why? Because we're actually doing it within dishonesty, within self-dishonesty. I mean, because it's being done within the starting point of wanting to hide away from self. It's not actually done in unconditional, real support, unconditional, real assistance for another as self. It is done to try and save or present even the presentation of being a savior while wanting to hide from facing self and self's consequences and taking responsibility for self and self's reality and self's world. And that's why no one can actually save another, because no one is actually saving anyone. The whole savior syndrome, savior construct is done within dishonesty of hiding. So therefore, as we suggest as well, is to take self-responsibility first and be a living example. Because in that you really then unconditionally assist another as yourself. Because you've actually practically, physically walked through a situation, experience. You've proven to yourself that you've changed. And within that proof, you become the living proof of self-change. And the beings that you assist and support with regards to showing them how you've dealt with, how you've walked through, how you've transcended a situation or experience, what you share with them is an unconditional sharing. They will have to make the decision of, will they assist and support themselves to change, or will they have to go through more experiences to inevitably get to that point of change. But inevitably, they will either force themselves to change or be forced to change through their own will. However, a point that came up is the idea or belief of free will that is justified in the light of beings have the right to do what they want to do as they please and as they will. That acceptance and allowance in others of oh, they have the right to do as they want, as they do, as they please, exists within the manifested, constructed design of free will. Why I say manifested, constructed design is because free will, in essence, we have found, does not exist. Here's why. So within the interdimensional existence, we've walked quite a process with many beings. There are trillions, zillions of beings in the interdimensional existence. And we looked at this whole principle of choice, of free will, free choice. And within the next interview, I will discuss our process and our experience with regards to free will, free choice, choice in itself, and how we literally disempowered ourselves within existing within such believed designs, and how we realized that none of that actually really exists, but was actually more constructs, more systems behind which we hid to continue existing in self-dishonesty. Thank you.